Hello everybody, this is Jack from Teaching ESL Online. Welcome if you're watching the replay of this video. I'm a little bit rusty because I've been away for about a week, maybe a little bit longer actually, in terms of making videos. But I'm back at home. My wife and I have had our baby daughter. She is upstairs with my wife right now. She was born on Monday. I'm recording this on Saturday, so she's not even a week old right now. My son is just about to go down for a nap. Hopefully he's going to nap very soon. And I managed just to get a few minutes to come and talk about a few things. Now I'm not going to just talk about having a baby because that will soon, grow thin. But I am going to talk about what I have learned from taking a week away, and also what I've also processed during this time. Additionally, I'm going to talk about how I have set things up for periods like this, periods when you just have to get away from things, because the bigger you build up things, the more you have to spend time on it, whether that's you or someone else. As you build an online business, which is what I've done over the years and what hopefully you're trying to do as well, you realize after a while that there are certain things that you have to do to get away from it. And if you allow everything to get on top of you, then it can become very, very stressful. So I took a few days off. Obviously, we were in the hospital for a few days. Everything went pretty well. We came back home on Wednesday, I think it was. Today's Saturday. No, we came home Thursday, today's Saturday. Kate's mother is here, which is great. It's great help. My son's been fantastic, although he's on a full break right now, so he's not going to school. And this time, I do feel on top of it. Just touching wood. I have to touch wood here. But right now, I do feel on top of everything. And I think that's because, firstly, I've had the experience of going through these initial stages of having a baby. And in terms of my business, I mentally prepared myself for some time off, and I also didn't allow myself to start anything new in the weeks leading up to my wife's due date. So having this little time away, and it has been very small, but getting space on anything can just really help you gain perspective, to help you get clarity in terms of your thinking and what you want to do. And it just allows you to come back to work with creative freedom again. You come back fresh, you come back wanting to implement new ideas. So the good news is, things have just been ticking along. In fact, I had one of my best weeks in terms of sign-ups for my various courses and programs that I have. And that's partly down to the fact that I have these systems set up. I have everything set up so it's very automated. New people can find me, they can get more information about what I offer. They can learn if this course, or the courses that I have, if they're right for them. The audiobook that I sell, they can learn if that's right for them as well, without me having to spend a lot of time in it. I've worked about 3 hours I think this week. And I've mainly focused on the support side. People who are taking my course, people who, for example, who bought my audiobook and the link didn't work. I've been trying to help them with that. And also just emails that I've been getting through. I haven't been busy on social media, so I decided to take that off, just post once or twice saying, I'm just taking a few days off teaching. But as I say, things have been really good. They've been working in the background very well. And probably for the rest of October, I'm going to just keep that maintenance level, give content, but without going over the top, without doing a launch, without starting something completely new. And then I'm mentally preparing myself for November, which I think is going to be a very busy month. James says, don't get burnt out. That's easy. It is. It is so easy to get burnt out, whether you're doing your marketing, your teaching, whatever it may be. I got burnt out with one-to-one lessons. When I was teaching one-to-one, I didn't take enough breaks. I was just taking on too many students. And yeah, I reached a stage where I felt completely burnt out. And that can easily happen. Easily happen. I know a lot of people who work for companies, and they're working like 40, sometimes 50 hours a week, teaching one-to-one lessons, and you're just gone. Bilal says, I have no idea about the title of this webinar, this lesson. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm back because my wife gave birth on Monday to our baby daughter, and I took a few days off. No emails, or no like mass emails, no new videos, no teaching, all that kind of stuff. So things that I've learned from this, you know, getting the space is so important. Getting that time off, and real time off, not just take the afternoon off, but like a week, a few days where they're having a fire over there. Sorry, where the business side of things and your teaching isn't the number one thing you're thinking about. I check my email once a day, spent about 30 minutes on it, you know, on Wednesday and on Thursday, and that was it really. So just to get that break from it has been fantastic. So the systems that I talked about have been very, very helpful. Always try and set up systems, always try and automate processes without taking away what's real, you know, without taking away the personal touch that you can add as well. Now what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about what's coming up. Thank you, Bilal, because it's helped me think about what I want to get out of the next few months, what I want to concentrate on next. So firstly, I haven't been looking at stats as much. I've not been too worried about, you know, how many visitors I get, what's my conversion rate, the course sales I'm making, all that kind of stuff. So getting that break has allowed me to think about what I want to do. And November, it's going to be a busy month. I've been planning a price increase for the courses that I have, so that's going to happen in November. I'm thinking about releasing different types of programs, which my new checkout software, it just allows me to put stuff out there without having to completely create something new with a new website, you know, new membership program, sales pages, all that kind of stuff. I have it set up now, so it's going to be very easy for me to put out a new product, put out new mentoring products as well, and just to get feedback on them, you know, see who buys, obviously deliver the course that I've been making, and then take things from there. James Allen says, I appreciate what you're saying and doing. A company certainly gives you flexibility. I'm definitely trying to build my own though. Yeah, I made a video, I don't know if you saw this, James, where I talked about what to do if you want to work for a company, because there's certain things you need to think about here. And a lot of people ask, should I work for a company first? And I always say, you know, it just depends. It depends on your situation. If you want income, if you want lots of practice right now, and you're not too concerned about how much you're getting paid, then, you know, go for it. You can do both, but ensure that you read the contract from the company that says that you can actually do both. So yeah, that's really important to know. And I did make a video about this, so please check that out. So when you're doing your own thing as well, things do come up, and it's important to know this, that things do come up. You know, if you're teaching one-to-one, you might get sick for a week. You need to have something in place that you can easily just manage that without having to be in it. You know, what I want to do, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I want to get a couple of teachers that I know who teach online, who are online entrepreneurs, but they're thinking of having babies or they've had a baby. Specifically women, because obviously that's a completely different thing where your body has to recover, where you're with your baby, you're bonding. And I think it's such an important thing to think about for anyone who's wanting to do their own thing, whether this is how much you want to travel, if you want to, you know, have a baby, what happens if you have to move house, what happens if you get kicked out of the apartment you're in now, just all these things, some that you control, some that you don't control. And to know that it's possible to have a system in place, it's possible to have something set up so that you can deal with these situations. Just to give you something concrete, something more specific, it might mean passing your lessons onto a teacher. So let's say you're teaching 20 hours a week one-to-one, you get sick, you can pass these lessons on to a teacher, pay them, let's say, 2/3 of the price, and you're still bringing in the income, your students are still happy because they're getting their lessons. It's just like having a substitute teacher. So that's like one specific example of how you can create systems and have stuff in place so that you can deal with stuff that comes up. The mailman's here. Now, the other thing as well, in addition to one-to-one, it might be selling online courses. And what I realised during this process is that I still need to have support in place, even if I can't deal with it. And it's made me think about, I should right now get someone to help me with the support tickets. And I'm looking at ways to set up a whole new way of dealing with emails. So that, for example, if someone gets in touch and says, there's a problem with my billing, can you change this? Or I want a refund on the course. Or, I have one last question about the course before I get it. And to have that system in place so that a team can deal with this instead of me getting stressed in certain situations. So that's one thing that has come out of this as well. So yeah, moving forward, new products, changes to the courses I have now. I'm going to try something new in January with my brand for English learners. My wife and I are looking at doing something together to collaborate on something else as well. And a lot of this as well will just depend on what I put out in November. So, in terms of how I'm going to deal with these next few weeks, thank you, James, I'm going to spend more time at home. When my son is in school, I'm going to go to the office. But when he's not in school, I'm probably going to spend more time at home. And luckily, I am in a position to do this. Luckily, I am in a position to work at home, to do certain things. One more thing I've learned, I feel I'm just blabbling on with this, but one more thing I have learned is the importance of looking at the 80-20 rule and knowing what's effective and what doesn't matter. What are some things that you do on a daily basis that just don't matter? Okay? For me, it was doing the captions for my YouTube videos for English learners. From my research, it doesn't make a difference to the rankings. It doesn't make a difference to the suggested videos. And for me as well, to get more content out there, more videos out there, more lessons out there, I realised the best way for me to do this was to think about a specific time to go live on Facebook like I'm doing now, or to go live on YouTube. Get my thought process there, hit live, give the lesson, end the lesson. So I'm not thinking too much about the whole, setting up of the lights, having the perfect script, having the perfect delivery every time. This video is a perfect example where I had an idea in my head what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just rusty and tired. I haven't done a very good job of it. And then to get stuff out there. So for me, knowing what's important, knowing what's effective, and making sure that I get stuff out there. So that's a huge one. Another one is sending emails. I was spending far too long with my emails, and what I'm going to do moving forward is send more emails more often and just get better at it through practice. So instead of just thinking, oh, what's the perfect email now to send based on everything that I've done, but at the end of the day I can send an email, send value, and then move on. I hope that makes sense, but I'm trying to look at ways to make things more effective and to make things good. So to summarise, took the time off. My wife, baby are healthy, happy. It's great. There's a lot of anxiety leading up to that period. Huge relief, huge joy after she was born. My son's been amazing. realised that I could set up systems to have things in place. One thing that I learned I need to have in place is a support system, so other people can deal with emails and support tickets. And I'm going to just look forward to November, coming back fresh, coming back, you know, with all these new ideas and thoughts, big ideas, different things I want to try. And just great to have that break. Great to take this little extended break where I'm just maintaining things, putting out content, but without getting into a big project right now. And to let that build, let that fire and the energy build, so in November I can just attack it, enjoy it, put stuff out there and move on. So let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know how you set up systems and how you deal with things that come up, whether they're planned or not. And thanks for being here. So I'll speak to you all soon.